Hello everyone and welcome to our channel Project Management and Control. This video is the second of my video series I'm making to demonstrate how we can remove actual data from the updated P6 program. So let's see why we need to deprogress the program or required to remove the actual data or updated data from the P6 program. There are several occasions, as what happened with me recently is that I get a program of the work and we have started the project already, but the contract not yet signed, and accordingly there was no BOQ finalized. In this case, we all because the project already started based on the drawings, so we established the program of the works and assigned the weightage factor based on our assumptions to monitor the progress. Once the program contract is finalized and BOQ is done, we revise the program again and put the BOQ costs and resources accordingly. And in this case, the we for after this, when we need to determine the payment for the contractor, we need to update the updated baseline program, approved baseline program for the past months which have already passed over. So this is one of the situation that initially or at the beginning of the project, the baseline was not set or assigned initially, and because as I told you in our case that there is no contract and BOQ, so we cannot estimate the resources and therefore we cannot assign the correct resources. And after some time when the BOQ finalized, we need to revise the resources accordingly. In addition to this, there is sometimes major changes in the project logic or sequence of the work which need to be revised the baseline according to new schedule or new sequence of the work. So once we need to remove the actual data from the baseline program, there are maybe two cases we encounter. One is that the program is simple, and it's simple it means that the program or project is fully detailed, but it don't have any resource and expenses. In this case, we can go if the only the few activities are there, we can go manually and remove the actuals from the one by one manually. But if there are too many activities, we just insert the column for the activity status and change the status from completed and progress activities to not started, and then just fill the values to all the remaining cells. This is very easy and straightforward method. The other case is that the program is fully loaded, means with its expenses and resources are already assigned. So in this case, when the program is resource and expense loaded, we are going to use global change tool. And global change tool, as I explained in some of my previous videos, that global change tool is a very dynamic and a very helpful tool for planning engineer, which are used to implement some calculated changes in the program of the works. So to remove the actual data from the updated program, we are using the global tool technique. So once we are going to use the global change, we are going to remove the actual and overtime costs and units from the labor and non-labor resources and material and expenses. So when it is a labor resources, we need to remove labor regular units, overtime units, and labor regular costs and overtime costs. Similarly, for the non-labor resources, we have to remove the units and costs for the regular and overtime time for both for units and costs. As you see on the screen, that it shows you four items to be removed for labor and non-labor resources, which is units and costs for both regular and overtime units. Once we remove these two labor and labor resources, the next item is to remove the material resources. The material resources, we need to remove the this cost and units and costs for the material. There's no overtime cost for the material resources. Similarly, if the project is expense, also means some planners, they assign the cost of the project as the expense. So if the project is expense loaded also, so just change the project expense cost to zero. So here it is my important to mention here that we make this all labor and non-labor material overtime and regular units from to zero. We use the global change that all the material labor and non-labor resources make zero. Similarly, we make the project expense percentage complete to zero. And after this, once we do this, finally we are going to change the activity status with the activities which are either incompleted or in progress. We are going to make the status to not started. This also we can do in the with the help of global change. As I told you, the global change is very good tool to implement any calculated or regular change. So we use again here global change command to change the activity status. Once we do this all, then once we do this all, we have to make sure that if we want to restore our baseline again, and because our project is already started and the progress is going on, so if we really want to restore our baseline actually, then we need to remove the out of sequence activities from the program. As out of sequence activities, you know that there's several activities. When we are making the baseline program, we assign the finish to start relationship, but sometime what happen, we have the relationship finish to start, but activity both activities started. So in this case, finish to start relationship is no more applicable. It should be start to start. So such things we have to, before implementing these changes, it is required to remove all the out of sequence activity to restore the baseline accordingly. If you are not removing the out of sequence activities, the project completion date will be very far, and then you need to again define all these changes again. So before removing the actual data from the P6 program, make sure to remove all the out of sequence activities. In addition to this, we need to make sure that we just go in the project folder, and in the folder just select on the calculation tab, and in the calculation tab we make sure that you already select reset remaining duration and units to original, this item to be selected before you are implementing. So before here as a summary, I tell again that before removing the actual data, we need to do two things very important. Number one, we need to remove the out of sequence activities, and number two, in the project tab, go to calculation and select the reset remaining duration and units to original. These two items should be we have to consider, and then we have to going to change make the changes using the global change. This is only a snapshot from the program. We will see all this in detail in the PC's program itself. So let's start in Primavera itself. Welcome back. I just opened a updated program which is 31st October 2023, and this program you can see that we have the performance percentage complete 84.94. So you can see the project is almost 80%, more than 80% is completed, and in this time it's happened that the contract and POQ finalized. So it's a strange something. Normally it is not happening, but this is the case here that we receive, and the project is around more than 80% is completed. And this stage, our BOQ and contract is finalized. And now what happened? The contractor want to make his payments, and we want to calculate the progress payment for few months before. So, like for example, this is October. We want to calculate what is the progress of the contractor in the month of August according to the update baseline program. So this program, you can see that we have already have budgeted costs and values you can see here also. So also the resources are already assigned. So we want to remove all this one by one. So we are doing this by the use of global tool. We just go tool in the global change and then add one new, and then call this as a change remove actuals material, and then we select here the from here you can see, I just make it big here. From in the selection, select subject area, just make sure to select the activity resource assignment, and here we select the resource type. Resource type is equals to, you can see resource type equals to labor. We just select from here labor, and in the then your parameter dialog box we just click add here and select 4 units. As we see before, that for the labor units we have to remove actual and overtime units and costs for the all the resources which are labor. So we add 4 parameters here, one two for the cost, regular cost and overtime cost, and two for the regular units and overtime units. So I add 1 2 3 4. We select here regular cost, actual regular costs, then actual regular overtime costs. Okay, you just make here. Then we select resource units, actual regular labor units, and similarly actual labor overtime units. Actual overtime labor units. All we select this as custom. Custom means it is all zero. Once select this one, then just we go and click the button apply changes. It asks you. Now you can see on the screen that all our fields we have labor units. If you see that before we have 16 all value and now this all zero. This 192 you can see 192 and new is zero. So once you just have a look these values and it is if it is okay just press the button commit changes. It asks you to want to log save the log file. We don't need to save the log file to just select no and it happened. So once you select this one, then okay, then select. You can make another global change for this one, or you just modify the one we make just recently make. So I'm just using the same. We just make it, just modify this one. Here we just make resource type equals to non-labor. Okay, and then here we change again there's 4 units as we said that for the non-labor resources also we need to change these 4 units cost and unit both for regular and overtime. So here we just need to change the cost and this labor units we just change to non-labor units, actual regular non-labor units, and similarly actual overtime non-labor units, actual cost and remain the same. Just make this one to custom. Okay, so you just see her here. If you see here that subject area is still activity resource assignment, global chain name I keep the same. And resource type here we make from labor to non-labor. First we make changes for the labor. Now we are making changes for the non-labor. Then we are using the cost and overtime cost zero and units for the regular and overtime for the non-labor units to zero. And then just select click changes button and where you have no value here. So if you make commit changes, even it will not affect us because we don't have any non-labor units. So this is good. Just select and press no. Then we select again here. Then now third item is we need to change the material units. So we already modified our labor resources both for labor and non-labor, and now we are going to modify the same global change dialog box for the material resources. So we just open the same. Just I make it big for a better understanding and view. So resource type here we will make it to material, and for the material we don't need this all four. We just need to take for the cost and material units. So actual regular cost is zero. Remove this overtime cost. It will ask you yes, and then actual regular units just make this to labor units, material units. Just select the actual material units and then remove this last one. Make this custom and then press change, and you can see here that we have the old values and new values. This 14,000 something 140 1,406,312, and now this new value is 0. Similarly 146,096 new value is 0. So just check this value, all new values are 0, and previously we have this values all. So just select commit changes. No need to save the log file. If you want you can save it, but for me it's okay. I just ignore this one, no, and then this okay. So now we select all our labor resources, non-labor resources, and material resources. Now the fourth is that we need to change the project percentage complete. So we again using the same global change we make it remove actuals, just modify this again, and then here we just go and select activities. Okay, here we don't put anything for the if statement parameter, just what we want to change, that we make it we add in the parameter. project expense. Open this, select this one big one, and then expense percentage complete. Just press E. Hello, just hello. Now, just we are going to change for our this item, which is activity resource assignment. Just make it project expense, and it asks you want to proceed. Yes. Then in the parameter, just add once here and select from here. Select from here expense percentage complete is equals to, just make custom 0 and then make changes. We don't have anything here, so it's okay. Just click changes, no need to save the log file, and then click OK. Now our final item is that we want to remove or we want to change the activity status from completed, which activities which are either completed or in progress. We want to set status of these activities to not started. So we just making this same global change, modify this one here, and then make this subject area to activities. Okay, and we say activity status equals to not started. Means if activity status equals to not equals to not started, we select is not equals to not started. Means activity status is not equal to not started. Means it is either started or in progress. And we come in the parameter added here that activity status equals to not started. So what will happen here? The activity status is not equals to not started. Means either started or completed. It will change to not started activities. So we just select, click here, change. You can see here that this we have the old values and new values. All values is completed and new values are not started. Similarly, you will find some activities which in progress. You can see in progress, which is now it is not started. So if you see this all, just select click on the commit changes. No, this again asks you to save the log file. No need to save the log file. Just select no, and then press OK. Okay, you can see now here our performance percentage complete is 0 now, and you can see our earned values also is 0. Now, if you have to restore the project again, you just need to run the project as of the data date. I'm not running the project here because in this program I did not remove the out of sequence activities. If you run it, just we can go in the folder button here. You can see in the journal tab in the go to dates, it will give you the project plan started 1st July 2020. It is not correct. Just select the project here. Okay, just I select the project now. It shows that the project started 29 August 2021. So, and the data date is 31st October 2023. So, let's run it for the program. Let's see what happened. We go again into activities 29 August 2021. Just press F9 and then select the data date 2021 August. Select 29 and schedule. I think we just make that we just make it 30 August schedule. You can see here the free date is 31st August 2030. So in fact, this is what happened because of the out of sequence activities, and when we are running the project, we all knows that no project run exactly as per plan. There are several during the execution of the project, we find that there are several out of sequence activities, and we find there are several redundant relationships which need to be removed to assist or to project completion exactly. So here in this program, I does not remove the auto sequence activities. So I just make it for the illustration purpose. We already have some videos to demonstrate what is auto sequence activities and how we can remove it. So before performing to remove the actual data from the P6 program, we need to remove the auto sequence activities. Then we perform this global change command, and it will take it will not take too much time. Just some you need to take some attempts. one or two attempts, it will be okay. So I hope it is helpful for you, and it help you in the future for making your work more accurate, and it help you to expedite or to accelerate your daily routine works. So I, if you like this video and it is helpful for you in somehow, so I please consider subscribe this channel, and it will be a great support and favor for me to encourage me and help me to make more good videos, helping and tutorial videos for our fellow engineers. So till next time, thank you for very much for your time again. See you in next video. Please don't forget to subscribe. See you in next video. Thank you. Take care. Bye bye.